welcome to the 7 o'clock English news from the Sultan of Oman television. First, the headlines. The State Audit Institution on its annual report reveals recovering and collecting more than 76 million Omani riyals and dealing with over 100 cases. Submitting applications of candidacy for Shura Council membership of the 10th term starts next Sunday. The Minister of Housing and Urban Planning issues a decision regarding amending the decision on the value of housing assistance. And Abraj Energy Services announces its plans to list 49% of its shares for public subscription on Muscat Stock Exchange. Those were the headlines. Now the news in detail. For the sake of transparency, integrity and involving society in enhancing the control system to achieve Oman Vision 2040, the State Audit Institution issued a summary for the community on the results of its works listed in its annual report for the year 2021. The summary reviewed the results of the financial and administrative follow-up of some units of the state administrative apparatus, public authorities and institutes, industrial and commercial companies, and the oil and gas sector. The summary indicates that number of tasks carried out by the State Audit Institution on performance and compliance control in 2021 reached 192 tasks compared to 156 tasks in the year 2020. The State Audit Institution issued 208 reports in 2021 compared to 190 reports in 2020. The institutions dealt during 2021 with 101 cases, some of which were convicted and punished with imprisonment for 3 months to 3 years' time and a fine of 300 Omani riyals to 21,000 Omani riyals. These cases varied between forgery in official documents, the use of forged documents with the knowledge of its forgery, entering data into a government information system, and in an illegitimate manner, requesting a bribe, squandering public money, abuse of position, and failure to perform job duties. 31 of these cases were referred to the public prosecution, 17 of them are still in process, and 53 cases date back to previous years. The overall outcome was the realization of the financial surplus of about 76.5 million Omani riyals. His Excellency Sayyid Hamoud bin Faisal Al Busaidi, Minister of Interior, specified the start date of submitting applications of candidacy for membership of the Shura Council for the 10th term to be on Sunday, January 29th until Thursday, February 16th, and the last date for withdrawing candidacy will be on Sunday, September 3rd, 2023. The Ministry noted to citizens wishing to run for membership of the Shura Council for the 10th term who meet the conditions for the right to run to submit the applications via the election website after filling out the designated form available on the site and attaching the documents required in the form in full, noting that no applications of candidacy will be accepted after the specified date or submitted by other than the specified means. Those who are nominated for membership of the Council shall be subject to the following. They must be of Omani national by origin. They shall not be younger than 30 years old by age, and by time of opening the candidacy doors, their education level shall not be below a general education diploma. They shall not have been previously convicted of a felony or a crime involving moral turpitude or the trust, even if they are rehabilitated. They must be registered in the electoral register. They must not be affiliated with the security or military authority. They are not interdicted by judicial ruling, and they must not be afflicted with the mental illness. These conditions must be met by the candidate on the day before the opening of the candidacy period. Those whose membership term has expired may run again for membership of the Council. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning issued a decision regarding amending the decision on the value of housing assistance for citizens eligible for housing assistance within the framework of the Ministry's interest in the beneficiaries of social housing programs that it offers to families with limited income and social security. The value of housing assistance has been set at 25,000 Omani Riyals for families consisting of 2 or 3 individuals to build or rebuild a house, provided that the building area is not less than 140 square meters. In the case of the beneficiary's contribution, the area must not exceed 250 square meters, while the value of housing assistance is set at 30,000 Omani Riyals for families consisting of 4 or more individuals to build or rebuild a house, provided that the area is not less than 190 square meters. In the case of contribution from the beneficiary that does not exceed 300 square meters, the decision applies to all cases that have not been financially linked from the date of its issue. The Sultan of Oman expressed its strong condemnation of the burning of the copy of the Holy Quran by extremists in Sweden, and a strong condemnation of such provocative actions against the feelings and sanctities of Muslims and the incitement of violence and hatred. A statement from the Foreign Ministry said that the Sultan of Oman stressed the need for concerted international efforts to consolidate the values of tolerance, coexistence, and respect, and to criminalize all acts that promote the ideology of extremism and hatred and offend religions and beliefs. Abraj Energy Services Company officially announced its intention to list up to 49% of its shares on the Muscat Stock Exchange. More details in the following report.
As part of the plan announced recently by the Oman Investment Authority, Abraj Energy Services Company announced its intention to list up to 49% of its shares on the Muscat Stock Exchange. Extensive services including drilling, maintenance and onshore wells.
This is part of a series of IPOs that will be launched during the 5 years plan which we're having. An average of 35 companies would be listed. We hope we can do more even, but it all depends on the IPO readiness of those companies.
Abraj's intention to flow today is an important milestone for the company. It's also an important milestone for the shareholders of Abraj, OQ in this case, and OIA. We are looking forward for a very successful IPO. We believe there's a lot of interest in this IPO. We believe there's a lot of potential in this market. We also believe this IPO is going to add value and depth to Muscat Stock Exchange.
The initial public offering includes local and international qualified investors outside the United States as well as individuals. The subscription period for the first and second phase investors is expected to start during next February after obtaining the required regulatory approvals from the Capital Market Authority. It's also expected that trading in shares will be accepted on the Muscat Stock Exchange starting next March. 51% minimum will remain indirectly owned by OQ.
Abraj is the first oil field IPO. MSX is ready to observe new IPOs. This will be the first one, and for us it's an opportunity to reflect oil field services into our listing companies. This is the first one, and it's toward having more diversified products into the market.
Abraj Energy Services is really proud to announce its intention to float on Muscat Stock Exchange. We have demonstrated strong growth since inception and has been profitable for over a decade. Looking ahead, we are well placed to grow further as a public listed company.
Abraj in the last 14 years have grown revenue by about 23% CAGR. Our PAT has grown by about, profit after tax has grown by about 60.4%, translating revenue 125 million, last year 21 audited, PAT of 18.4 million with 14.8%.
The market share of Abraj company amounts to 29%, and the company recorded cumulative orders worth 593 million Omani Riyals until the year 2031, and Abraj achieved revenues amounting to 125 million Omani Riyals during the past year, supported by the growth of its fleet of drilling platforms. Thus, Abraj Energy Services Company officially announces its intention to list up to 49% of its shares on Muscat Stock Exchange as part of the Sultanate divestments program recently announced by the Oman Investment Authority. Abdullah bin Ahmed Al-Rubi'i, Sultanate of Oman Television, Muscat.
The challenges facing the industrial sector, the continuation of the quest to find the best solutions and practices to meet them, were discussed by the Transformative Industries and Future Industries Laboratory. The laboratory comes within the aim of achieving the objectives of the industrial sector, improving the performance, raising its contribution to the gross domestic product, and enhancing the investment environment in the industrial sector and its initiatives. The laboratory witnessed wide participation from various governmental institutions, private sector institutions, and the academic sector. The Office of the Governor Musandam signed a cooperation agreement with Oman Data Park with the aim of benefiting from cloud services in hosting the governorate's data center in an effort to enhance government digital transformation and keep pace with technical developments. The company will create and host the domain name and email for the Governorate of Musandam to be used by visitors and beneficiaries of services, as well as communication among employees and with others, in addition to providing technical support with the aim of raising the efficiency and effectiveness of government work and ensuring the smooth running of business. The agreement was signed by His Excellency Sayyid Ibrahim bin Saeed Al Busaidi, Governor of Musandam, and Engineer Maqbool bin Salim Al Buhebi, CEO of Oman Data Park. Okay. Still to come, a news bulletin. Al-Qal'a Cafe in Matrah Fort attracts tourists and visitors at seaside area of Matrah. Welcome back to the news from the Sultanate of Oman Television. The Ministry of Heritage and Tourism is moving towards pouring more investments in historical sites. Investments include setting up cafes, restaurants and shops in 8 historical sites, including Matrah at initial stage, with 29 more potential sites being for future projects. Al-Qal'a Cafe in Matrah Fort attracts tourists and visitors who wish to have authentic and spectacular seaside view after enjoying shopping in Matrah Souq, with a turnover of 400 visitors per day in normal days and 600 visitors during weekends. A press conference was held today to reveal the main themes that will be highlighted in the 6th Annual Conference of Oman Society for Human Resources Management. More details in the following report.
Oman Society for Human Resources Management, Oshram, held a press conference to announce the details of its 6th annual conference, which will be held from the 7th to the 9th of February at Oman Convention and Exhibition Center.
This will be, it's considered the 6th annual conference of Oshram. is basically we are going to discuss different elements like well-being, diversity and inclusion. Also, we're going to talk about agility of leadership. We'll be talking about the diplomatics panel discussions, where we are going to discuss the mindset of the ambassadors, especially with His Majesty's directions, moving from politics, view points to toward more into a business mindset.
The Osharam 6th Annual Conference discusses the way ahead to the new era of work by gathering a community of decision makers and visionaries on one common platform.
Theme is the new era of work. We have around 56 speakers coming from different countries to participate in our 6th annual conference. We believe economy and having the mindset of thinking economically is an important thing that we need to equip our people with, regardless what sort of work they're doing, what domain they work for, regardless if they are in a junior position or a senior position.
A total of 8 awards have been assigned to honor and award excellence in human resources management fields for 3 categories, namely organizations, business, and research. The 6th Annual Conference of Osharam will tackle ways by which HR professionals meet the growing needs of human capital, particularly post-COVID-19. For the Sultanate of Oman Television, Salih Bukhalfan al-Rahbi, Muscat.
In coordination with the Ministry of Labour, Royal Oman Police received a new batch of female recruits who have passed the screening and admission processes. The new recruits will undergo military and academic training in ROP Female Police Institute. The new batch of female police recruits have started their first day in the institute with vigor and zeal to team up and then serve the Omani community. The police recruits will be exposed with both theoretical and physical aspects of police work in order to prepare them to shoulder their sacred duties in the future. The Ministry of Interior launched the Institutional Proficiency System. The system comes within the framework of raising the efficiency of government performance, developing the business environment, and improving the level of services provided by the various government bodies, as well as measuring the extent of progress in individual job performance by establishing a comprehensive understanding of operational goals and the mechanisms for the application by all employees at all levels of employment. The organizing committee of Al-Bashar Annual Festival for Arabian Camel Races revealed the details of the 6th festival. The activities will start on the 13th of February and will last for 5 days. The festival will include 74 races with various types of racing camels, in addition to many accompanying events. The festival also will witness wide and active participation from camel breeders from GCC countries. Candidates can register through Maidan Al-Bashair application. The festival can include a wide variety of events and activities that are tailored to meet the expectations of the audience, such as 76 rounds of camel racing, Omani traditional dances, and much more. You're watching the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. The State Audit Institution, on its annual report, reveals recovering and collecting more than 76 million Omani Riyals in dealing with over 100 cases. Submitting applications of the candidacy for Shura Council membership of the 10th term starts next Sunday. The Ministry of Housing and Urban Planning issued a decision regarding amending the decision on the value of housing assistance. And Abraj Energy Services announces its plans to list 49% of its shares for public subscription on Muscat Stock Exchange. And with that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin from Overseas Newsroom in the studios. Thanks for your time. Good night.